And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Chelsea Handler just roasted Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in front of a lot of major celebrities at an award show. I don't think Blake Lively is going to like it.
I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
These HR complaints saying these were real and these were ignored, all painting Justin Baldoni to be a monster, okay?
Look, she does make fun of Justin and Blake, but the fact that she's making fun of it at all shows she doesn't believe Blake.
But there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
Was Blake Lively, once seemingly untouchable in the gilded world of Hollywood, just subjected to a public humiliation so profound it could redefine her career trajectory? Imagine for a moment the dizzying heights of celebrity, the carefully curated image of perfection, the unwavering adoration of fans and industry insiders alike. Now picture that carefully constructed facade suddenly cracking, crumbling under the weight of unexpected public scorn. This isn't a fictional drama, this is the unfolding reality for Blake Lively. At the recent Critics' Choice Awards, what was meant to be another celebratory night in the entertainment industry took a sharp, unexpected turn, leaving Lively reeling and Hollywood buzzing. The event became ground zero for a public takedown that was as brutal as it was unforeseen, raising serious questions about her standing and future in the fickle world of fame.
So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. I want to acknowledge that we've been through a lot lately, not just here in Los Angeles, but our entire country. Waking up every day, not knowing what news we are going to hear.
And she decided to file a complaint with the California Human Rights Division. But that was really, I believe, and it is alleged by Justin's lawyers now, just a setup so that she could give the New York Times cover to do a huge hit piece on him and attempted rehab of her.
The Critics' Choice Awards are typically a predictable affair, a parade of designer gowns, gracious acceptance speeches, and an overall atmosphere of self-congratulation punctuated by forced humility. But Chelsea Handler, known for her razor-sharp wit and unapologetic style, decided to rip up the script entirely. Stepping onto the stage with an air of mischievous intent, she bypassed the usual pleasantries and launched straight into an attack so direct, so pointed, it left the room gasping, and then surprisingly laughing. Handler's weapon of choice was sarcasm, delivered with her signature deadpan stare. She announced with mock sincerity her gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, specifically for providing a distraction. The word hung in the air, loaded with unspoken context. A distraction from what? Handler didn't need to spell it out. The implication was crystal clear. Lively's ongoing legal drama, her public persona, had become a spectacle, a sideshow, and now a punchline. It wasn't just the words themselves, but the utterly dismissive tone, the complete lack of sympathy that made the roast so devastatingly effective. This wasn't a playful jab, it was a calculated strike at the heart of Lively's carefully crafted public image.
So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
But the true gauge of the roast's impact wasn't just Handler's delivery, it was the visceral, almost unsettling reaction from the Hollywood elite in attendance. Forget the polite, strained chuckles you might expect in such an awkward moment. The room erupted in genuine, unrestrained laughter. This wasn't nervous laughter, nor was it the polite amusement of an audience unsure how to react. This was a deep, resonant, almost cathartic outpouring of laughter, and in that laughter lay a profound shift in sentiment. It was as if Hollywood collectively had been holding its breath, politely listening to the Blake Lively narrative, and Handler's roast gave them permission to finally exhale and laugh. This laughter wasn't just about the joke itself, it was a symbolic rejection of Lively's carefully constructed victim story. It signaled a growing weariness, a sense that the performance had gone on long enough and that the industry in its own subtle but powerful way was ready to move on, leaving Lively behind. The laughter echoed not just through the ballroom but throughout the industry, a clear and resonant message.
I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
And there are a lot of bodies for Blake Lively. So he's first filed a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times for their totally irresponsible report about this matter. in which they made mistakes, so egregious mistakes. I mean, but intentional errors, you could argue.
To underscore the seismic shift in Hollywood's perception, cameras strategically captured the reactions of some of the industry's biggest names. These weren't just background players. These were the A-list elite, the power brokers, the trendsetters. Reports suggest that Orlando Bloom, Emma Stone, and Ryan Gosling, among others, were not just politely smiling, they were genuinely doubled over, wiping tears from their eyes, caught up in the wave of laughter. These reactions weren't just caught on camera, they were disseminated across social media, amplified by entertainment news outlets, becoming a crucial part of the narrative. Why are these specific reactions so significant? Because these are individuals whose opinions carry weight in Hollywood. Their laughter wasn't just personal amusement, it was a public endorsement of Handler's takedown, a tacit agreement that the tide had turned against Lively. It sent a clear signal to the wider industry and to the public that the once unwavering support for Blake Lively was beginning to fracture, replaced by something akin to collective eye-rolling and open mockery. Their reaction served as a very public, very visible confirmation of the changing winds in Hollywood.
Why are we here, Blake? Because again, you gotta remember, Blake filed this suit, not Justin. Blake filed this suit. And if all of Hollywood is really believing her and Ryan, well, then why are they laughing? It's because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not. And unless Blake's dropping something to warrant all the things that she did to him, Justin deserves justice. Justin deserves to get his Wayfarer back where it was. Justin deserves to make more movies.
To understand the magnitude of this public reversal, we need to rewind a few months. It appears Blake Lively had meticulously crafted a strategy, a carefully calculated plan to not only navigate her legal challenges, but to emerge from them stronger, more admired, and perhaps even more powerful than before. The blueprint seemed to be to position herself as the quintessential strong female icon, a courageous figure bravely standing up against injustice, taking on a powerful adversary in Justin Baldoni. The narrative she appeared to be cultivating was one of resilience, of victimhood overcome, of a woman refusing to be silenced. She likely envisioned a triumphant arc culminating in public sympathy, industry accolades, and a solidified image as a modern-day heroine. The legal arena was meant to be her stage, the courtroom her platform to showcase her strength and unwavering resolve. However, somewhere along the way, the carefully constructed narrative began to unravel. The public, and more importantly, the industry, began to see cracks in the facade, questioning the authenticity of the performance and sensing a disconnect between the carefully crafted image and the underlying reality. The master plan, meticulously laid out, began to backfire in spectacular fashion.
I would challenge back. This is absolutely not good for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. To see the Critics' Choice Award, which is a lot of critics and people coming in, it's press and people who review the films or at least hobnob with the studios. They're there trying to be nice to all the celebrities.
At the core of this unfolding drama lie serious and potentially damaging accusations. Blake Lively initiated legal action against Justin Baldoni, alleging a disturbing pattern of sexual harassment and a deliberate, calculated smear campaign designed to tarnish her reputation and undermine her career. These are not trivial claims. They are accusations that carry immense weight, capable of destroying careers and igniting public outrage. Lively's lawsuit painted a stark picture, casting Baldoni as a figure of power abusing his position, attempting to silence and discredit a woman who dared to speak out against his alleged misconduct. The narrative was designed to evoke sympathy and outrage, to position Lively as a victim bravely fighting for justice against a powerful and potentially predatory figure. These accusations formed the bedrock of her initial public support, the foundation upon which her strong female icon image was being built. They were the catalyst that set this entire chain of events in motion, and their initial impact was undeniable.
At these Hollywood award shows, was actually going to step up and make some jokes. So props to Chelsea Handler. I think she could have gone harder. I think she could have gone more on Blake and Ryan, but she's playing in the middle. But all I will say is Blake Lively's not doing this.
But the legal battle and the public narrative took a dramatic and unexpected turn when Justin Baldoni responded with a counterattack of staggering proportions. Instead of quietly settling or attempting to mitigate the damage, Baldoni reportedly unleashed a counter-lawsuit so massive it sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. A jaw-dropping $400 million claim for defamation and civil extortion. This wasn't just a legal defense, it was an aggressive, audacious counteroffensive, and it wasn't just Lively who was targeted. Baldoni reportedly named Ryan Reynolds and even the venerable New York Times in his suit, broadening the scope of the legal battle and escalating the stakes exponentially. The message was clear. Baldoni was not backing down, and he was prepared to fight back with every resource at his disposal. Moreover, reports began to circulate that Baldoni was armed with substantial receipts, evidence purportedly capable of dismantling Lively's claims and completely flipping the script. Suddenly, the perceived victim was now facing a legal and public relations onslaught of epic proportions, and the narrative began to shift once more, casting doubt on the initial claims and raising questions about the true motivations behind Lively's lawsuit.
This sums up Hollywood in a nutshell. Oh God, please don't show me a laugh. I don't want to get Blake and Ryan mad, but it's funny. Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous.
Adding further complexity and accelerating the shift in public perception, Baldoni's legal team also launched a strategic assault on the New York Times, a media institution that had initially provided significant coverage and arguably lent credibility to Lively's narrative. By accusing the Times of irresponsible reporting and biased coverage, Baldoni aimed to undermine not just Lively's legal standing, but also her public support. This legal maneuver was strategically brilliant. It attacked the very foundation of Lively's media narrative, questioning the journalistic integrity of a major news outlet that had amplified her claims. As Baldoni's counter-narrative gained traction and as whispers of receipts and potential inconsistencies in Lively's story began to circulate, the once sympathetic media coverage began to subtly shift. Questions were raised, doubts were expressed, and the unwavering support that Lively had initially enjoyed began to erode. With each legal filing, each carefully crafted public statement from Baldoni's camp, Lively's carefully constructed image of victimhood began to crumble, culminating in the devastating public humiliation at the Critics' Choice Awards, a moment that seemed to solidify the industry's growing skepticism and even outright rejection of her narrative.
Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous. And yes, it's been such a wonderful, dramatic distraction, but...
Amidst the legal volleys and the escalating public drama, the whispered rumors of Justin Baldoni possessing receipts, concrete evidence to refute Lively's accusations, have become a central point of intrigue. What exactly are these alleged receipts? While the specifics remain shrouded in legal secrecy and industry speculation, their very existence has cast a long shadow over Lively's claims and fueled the growing skepticism surrounding her narrative. Are these documents, emails, witness testimonies? Potentially, they could be anything that undermines the timeline of events as presented by Lively, or perhaps evidence that suggests ulterior motives behind her lawsuit. The lack of concrete details only amplifies the mystery, allowing imaginations to run wild and further eroding public confidence in Lively's version of events. The receipts, even without being publicly revealed, have become a powerful weapon in Baldoni's arsenal, a silent but potent force that continues to chip away at Lively's credibility and bolster the counter-narrative that she may not be the victim she portrays herself to be. The anticipation surrounding the potential unveiling of this evidence hangs heavy in the air, adding a layer of suspense to an already explosive situation. The inclusion of Ryan Reynolds and the New York Times in Baldoni's massive counter lawsuit raises significant questions about the scope and strategy behind his legal offensive. Why target Lively's husband, a fellow A-list celebrity, and a respected journalistic institution? In the case of Ryan Reynolds, was his inclusion simply a strategic move to amplify the pressure on Lively, leveraging their marital connection and shared public image? Or does Baldoni believe Reynolds played a more direct role in the alleged smear campaign, perhaps through behind-the-scenes influence or financial support? The New York Times, on the other hand, represents a different kind of target. By suing a major media outlet for defamation, Baldoni isn't just seeking financial compensation, he's directly challenging the credibility of the media narrative that initially favored Lively. This move could be interpreted as a calculated attempt to intimidate other media outlets, discouraging them from further amplifying Lively's claims and creating a chilling effect on future reporting. Whether Reynolds and the New York Times are considered collateral damage in Baldoni's fight against Lively, or were deliberately targeted for strategic reasons, their inclusion in the lawsuit significantly broadens the conflict, transforming it from a personal legal battle into a wider industry showdown with potentially far-reaching consequences for all involved. Now, Blake Lively finds herself in a precarious and potentially career-defining moment. The swift and dramatic shift in public perception, culminating in the brutal roast at the Critics' Choice Awards, has left her standing on shaky ground. From seemingly untouchable Hollywood darling to the target of industry jokes and public scrutiny, her carefully cultivated image has suffered a catastrophic blow. Chelsea Handler's roast wasn't just a fleeting comedic moment, it was a symbolic punctuation mark, a public declaration that the narrative had irrevocably changed. Has Blake Lively been effectively canceled in the eyes of Hollywood? Is her once promising career now in jeopardy? And what will be the long-term consequences of this very public, very brutal takedown? While only time will reveal the full extent of the damage, one thing is undeniably clear. The narrative surrounding Blake Lively has undergone a dramatic and potentially irreversible transformation. Her carefully constructed world has been shaken to its core, and her future in the unforgiving landscape of Hollywood hangs in the balance.